Hello everyone, Matthew Watkins back again with another video, and we're now deep into August. NFL pre-season's in full swing. As of this recording, hopefully when this video comes out, it'll be the day starting of week 3, what I believe is known as the dress rehearsal in the NFL pre-season. But as well, college football kind of kicks off this weekend, the 150th season of college football, and obviously here in the UK we can get it on BT Sports. But I've been thinking recently, now mainly because of Sky, how they've really been expanding their American sport program, particularly with the NBA and obviously WNBA and the Junior NBA Championship recently, and obviously with the NFL, they're really expanding their NFL programming. It's got me thinking, basically, if a major British network was to take a punt onto college football. Now this ain't spot, my TV rights news. This is nothing that. This is just me kind of fantasy booking, to use a wrestling term. It's kind of fantasy booking. Well, hypothetically, I think if this was to happen, now obviously ESPN, stuff from ESPN's on BT, and obviously there's ESPN Player, where as of this record we don't know about ACC Network, whether that will be available on ESPN Player. And obviously with NFL Network doing the games doing Conference USA on a Saturday as well, that'll be likely on Game Pass. So if a major British network was to take a punt, I'm thinking more towards the Fox package and maybe the Notre Dame package or Notre Dame. I've took all the major broadcasters and I'm just thinking if they was to take a punt, likely where to predict where it'd go. Obviously this might happen this season. Might not happen next season, might never happen, but it's kind of fancy booking. This hypothetically, I aren't going to mention BT Sport. They've already got the stuff from ESPN and also the SEC package from CBS, as well as the Hyundai Sunbow, the Hyundai Sunbows, they pronounce it in America. It's part of the bowl season, and they've got that, so they're pretty much the home on traditional television in the UK for college football. Now let's talk about the other broadcasters. I'm starting with, of course, Sky Sports, which is kind of the undisputed champion of sport in the UK. I like BT, I've got fair other broadcasters, but Sky, they're the champions. I thought, again, Sky with the Notre Dame package of Notre Dame, if you don't know what I mean. Mainly because, obviously, with it being on NBC and Sky being owned by Comcast. This is a guess here, probably I'll be wrong. I'm not sure if I'll be wrong. But the thing is, they'd likely get it cheaper. If I'm wrong, then why is Sky for their IndyCar coverage using the NBC feed, not the World feed? I think if Sky was to take a punt and expand their American football programming a bit, mainly the Notre Dame package, because they get it cheaper, obviously with it being on NBC, just the games on NBC, and it's really hard because it likely it'll be on the red button, because likely it'll clash with darts, it'll clash with rugby union and action with England mix. Obviously mainly, the rugby union, maybe some rugby leagues, obviously, back in the Super League season, obviously with the Grand Final in October. Obviously the darts, Grand Slam, the World Grand Prix. Also Bellator and May, obviously they've got, it's hard to say, but I reckon if Sky was to take a punt, they'd likely to get the, no pun intended, if they was to take a gamble and expand the American football programme, and I reckon they'd take the Notre Dame package, primarily because they'll likely get it cheaper. And I don't think Sky would get the Fox package. I think they'd probably start off small and get the Notre Dame package because they'll get it cheaper, I reckon. But either way, we know how we can get it. Anyway, that's how I got the game when my Syracuse got battered by Notre Dame in the Shamrock Series, I believe, at Yankee Stadium. The NBC coverage legally through NBC Sports Gold. Plugging it, the NBC Sports Gold International. You can get all the Notre Dame home matches, ones you normally get on NBC in America. It's just kind of tough. I ain't going to give you odds, but I'm just thinking Sky probably nothing more than the Notre Dame package, if you ask me. I may point out as well, the rest likely if they was to take the Fox package, for example, or maybe even the CBS Sports Network package, but we don't get that. But I think mainly the Fox package, the Fox as well, they tend to have a few big matches. Big games as well. ESPN and CBS don't have all the big games now. Fox have been getting into it. Moving on to Premier Sports / Free Sports, put them as one because they are one entry, they're one entity. And no, I don't think they're a good idea. It's not really a good idea for them to try to do it. Their Saturday night schedules are pretty bloated. You know, the Rugby Union, Pro 14 have got for 2 more years. They've also got the Serie A and the Eredivisie, and they might renew their Liga rights. And they'll have some NASCAR. All 3 channels will be packed, so I really don't think it'd be a good idea at all. Now moving on to the terrestrial networks, the big networks. Now, to quote a song from Madden, it's a long shot, it's a long shot. Because that's what it is, it really would be a long shot, like pretty much all of them, but you never know. Now, BBC, I'm going to start with the big one, the BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation. Thing is, with BBC One, the car won't be fully on one channel, I reckon. Definitely not on BBC One, unless till early hours, because the thing is, their Saturday night lineup, especially with Strictly, big pointless celebrities or whatever, it's just too prestigious, you know. Them and ITV really tend to compete with, that's their bread and butter, that is their livelihood, that is their crown jewel of a week, of their weekly programming, is their Saturday night lineup. And obviously during college football season it will be Strictly Come Dancing. So I think likely it'll be on BBC Two for a bit, or if there's anything on BBC Two, for example, like when they do the Champions League of darts tournaments, that'll likely be on the red button, but there's only one red button stream. And then probably might move, if it's gone BBC red button or BBC Two, it might move over to BBC One after the NFL show, if they have it on midnight after match of the day. Or maybe even have it on BBC 4, you never know. But I think likely if it was on the BBC, it'd be on the red button, BBC 2, and then BBC 1 after match of the day or the NFL show. ITV, Independent Television, I think that's what they're called. Well, that's probably what it stands for. No chance whatsoever. The Saturday Night Live's 2 against the Crown Jewel, X Factor, say what you will. I gave up on it years ago. I started watching football and NASCAR and darts, and I've never looked back. Speaking of the darts and with snooker as well on ITV4, so you're not, I think probably it won't be on the main ITV channel, and it likely could go, it would be on ITV4, but it's no chance every week because of the snooker and the darts they do towards college football season, so I won't bank on them. There won't, there won't be much room on the schedule. Moving on to Channel 4, and just a little factoid here, it was in 1982 when the channel first launched. They introduced American football, had NFL coverage, mainly started off with old games and week delayed highlights, live coverage of the Super Bowl. So they did that up until about 1998, it was all hunky-dory, but it was kind of, you know, highlights mainly and live coverage of the Super Bowl. And they did that throughout the 80s to, you know, give people another alternative to the Sunday night lineup on BBC and ITV, which apparently wasn't really that good. And obviously that's what led to the first boom of American football over here, led to the pre-season games, you know, the American Bowls. But either way, back to the here and the now. Just plain and simple, that was a gamble that paid off nearly 40 years ago now. I mean, 38 nearly to be exact. Their Saturday night lineup isn't quite as prestigious, but on paper it would be a good fit. Obviously they introduced the NFL. Obviously it might not have been seen as a huge job, but it certainly drew numbers. Obviously they've got F1 highlights on a Saturday, qualifying highlights mainly. And the only time when it really will be a bother will be America and Mexico, possibly when it'll be late at night. And also they do have the odd live Rugby Union and the Heineken Cup. But I reckon if there will be a clash, they'll just move over to more for, just like all they did with the cricket, World Cup final and the British Grand Prix clashing. But then again, obviously this was, like I said, this was a channel that practically introduced American football to Britain. But don't forget, Channel 4 have binned it off twice. Once they binned it off because low ratings, because the interest had gone down, and because it was much better coverage over on Sky. The second apparently was because they just couldn't reach a deal to keep Sunday Night Football that they had in the early 2010s, and that's obviously gone over to Sky, and I think Sky are going to be keeping that for the foreseeable future. So I think Channel 4, I think out of the free-to-air channels, I think they're probably a good shot. If they was to take a gamble, I mean obviously the TV landscape now is a lot different than how it was back in 1982. And the way we watch TV is a lot different now. So it's hard to say, but I think it might pay off if Channel 4 want to get back into American football and don't want to get the NFL rights, or can't get the NFL rights, and just think the next best thing in the world is take off. I mean, obviously, they did think that was going to take off, that the NFL coverage was going to take off in the 80s. I think definitely Channel 4 would be a good chance. Right, now to Channel 5. Their sport, their Saturday night lineup isn't, prestigious. I think they're trying to get like Blind Date. I don't know if they'll have Blind Date. I don't really bother with them. Like I said, I just watch sport. But I think Channel 5 again would be a good fit. The only time I think there'd be trouble if there was clashing with live boxing. They do have live boxing on occasions on Channel 5. Obviously Bellator, mate. And then they're live when it's in the UK normally, they do the live coverage. So I honestly think Channel 4 or 5, if it was out the main free-to-air networks, would probably be the best fit. Their Saturday night lineups are obviously much of a crown jewel as it is for the BBC and ITV. But if there was a clash on Channel 5, I'm sure it'd be put onto 5 Spike. Now Eurosport, I don't think, hard to say if they're a major broadcast. Obviously being owned by Discovery, they've got Quest. I'm not sure if I'd be too keen on it, because when they've aired college football in the past, the Notre Dame games in like the early 2010s, I remember watching it. And they had alternate commentary, and it was different commentary to the US commentary. I strongly prefer the original US commentary, but obviously when they did the NFL coverage a couple of years ago, it was the original. I think that's probably because it was only for the UK, it wasn't for Europe. The biggest hurdle would probably be if it was on Quest, for example, and same with Eurosport, would be snooker, and obviously they've only got 2 channels to have everything. Well, they are. It'd be hard to say, I reckon, for Eurosport. I mean, they'd probably do it, but I reckon it'll likely do with alternate commentary or games will there on a tape delay. And with Quest, the clash. The problem is if it clashes with snooker, obviously it'll clash with their EFL highlights, so it'll probably move over to Eurosport and then just come back. Obviously, this is just me rambling. This is me hypothetically speaking. This is kind of fantasy booking. So I honestly think if it was on them networks, I think Channel 4 or Channel 5 would be the most ideal fit, if you ask me. But this, don't take this into account. This is not me saying they're gonna do it. They might not do it. I might just be using I'm just kind of using my imagination, thinking what would be an ideal fit. If it could be any of them, I think Sky for the Notre Dame package, and Channel 4 and Channel 5 maybe. Channel 5 maybe for the CBS, being that CBS is owned by Viacom, who own Channel 5. So I think they'd probably go for the CBS Sports Network package. They can't go for SEC on CBS because that's what, stuff on the main CBS network. That's what BT's got. So I think it'll either be the Fox package or it'll be the CBS Sports Network package. Obviously it'll come down to money. I think they won't want to spend too much money because it might not be a huge draw. Don't forget, this is American football. It's not the NFL. I mean, you look at the numbers that it's getting on BT Sport. It's not as a be all and end all, but it might be a good indicator as how good the ratings will be. That's going to be it for the video. Let me know what you think. If this was to happen in real life, do you agree with me that Channel 4 or Channel 5 would be that fit? Let me know in the comments. Be sure to thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it. If you haven't, fair enough. Drop a dislike. Don't forget to subscribe. If you like what you see, you're brand new and you want some more. And don't forget when you subscribe to turn on those notifications so you know whenever the hell I post next. And to follow me on Twitter at Hawkins_MattUS. And don't forget to tell your friends how much of a great YouTuber I am. And as always, if you need some cheer, have no fear, Big Matt Hawk is here.